Hey guys, it's Kaya Benyon. Recently, I came across this edited short of Hyein from the group New Jeans. The edit itself is pretty old at this point. It's actually from August 2022, shortly after the girls' debut. It's a pretty interesting edit, as you can see, with the comment section being super divided. The majority of the comments are saying things like, I don't know what the big deal is. I'm her age and I dress exactly the same. You guys are the one being creepy. She slays and that fit looks good. Don't comment such creepy things about a minor. Or, the only people that are jealous are the millennials, Gen X, and older Gen Z who know they wouldn't be able to pull it off. They're seriously so jealous of us 2004, 2005, 2008 liners. It's obvious. Cry face, cry face, cry face, skull face, skull face. Or my favorite. In America, this outfit would be considered tame for a 14-year-old. I'm 14 and I wear stuff like that and sometimes a little bit shorter. Honestly, this comment section is kind of a true masterclass on exactly why teenagers are so susceptible to manipulation and grooming. So many of the comments read straight like an episode from Dateline, praising him for her maturity and ability to recognize exactly what she wants out of this world, how she wants to dress, be, and act. But the post itself points out the fact that she has been in this industry since she was 7, 8 years old. This isn't the pose that a typical 14-year-old would go towards. She has a warped view due to being around adults, posing like adults, etc., since she was a little kid herself. So, just the fact that she's in the industry and that she can make her own quote unquote choices doesn't really say very much. Especially because I'm pretty sure at this point we all have come to the agreement that mind development takes a while, and retrospect and hindsight are the biggest things. As an adult, the biggest superpowers when you look back and you realize, oh, I only had like 2/3 of the brain I have now. It's not that you're dumb, it's not that you're not on your way, it's just that you need all the pieces together for you to see the full part. What? What? Okay. Beep. I'm beeping myself. At the end of the day, it's hard to say that someone's making a choice or that it's their choice when that same choice has been made for them their entire life up until this point. You know? You know? Fans aren't jealous or angry that she's expressing herself. They're just so aware that creeps are gonna creep. And it's not necessarily the same thing, or actually, it's not at all the same thing as you choosing to express yourself in an enclosed middle or high school space, because she's exposing herself to millions of people. Especially during debut. Especially around the time of their debut, Hyein got praised a lot for having a really mature look. A lot of people said that she looked like she was in her 20s before she debuted. And that's a problem not just because she has like a slightly more developed face. It's a problem because that was intentional and absolutely set up by both Hybe, literally putting her at the center of attention by debuting her in the first place, but also she is the center of attention in the video attention. And in her former days as a model. So this is something that she's been exposed to for as long as probably as long as she can remember. I really want to emphasize that this exposure is nothing new for Hyein. If anything, it's tamed down a little bit compared to what she used to be exposed to. One of the most famous clips that went viral of her is of her at a fashion show from 2020. It back in August is, I think it's one of the first few clips that anyone saw of her. And it doesn't look terrible. You know, she's wearing a crop top and like a baseball hat. It's a whole outfit. But then when you look at the full video, I'm just gonna just take a look at the full video for comparison here at the actual event. Genuinely wish we lived in a wonderful little bubble where we didn't have to think about things through this lens, but we don't. And we do, because it happens all around us all the time. And some of the biggest indicators can be happening right underneath your nose. So if you see something like this, if you see someone posing like this under a certain age, then it is a good thing to second guess and to double take and to think about, hey, why is this happening? Because it never hurts to think about it, never hurts to criticize and analyze. Considering the fact that there are entire subreddits dedicated to K-pop cuties, which is not the same thing as that other K-pop subreddit that you may have heard of, which is absolutely disgusting. But no, this one is far more sinister because it pretends it's under the This one's far more sinister because it features images of underage idols doing seemingly innocent things, and because these images aren't risque in any way, people can get away with posting them. But considering there are no comments and the usernames of the people that frequent these websites are things like gross dude love Asian girl, like, you can tell what's going on there. So when you see like a provocative image like this, just know that that's going into hundreds of strangers, creep profiles, internet servers, database, whatever, that they're all circulating. They're talking about this on Discord. They're creating fantasy scenarios. They're making remixes. Like, all sorts of things are happening underneath the surface that you might not be thinking about when you just look at this picture and just think, man, this is great. This person's expressing themselves. It's a bummer. I feel like every person like really should be able to do whatever they want, but at the same time kind of no, right? Because there's some things that you do that will harm other people, and there's some things that you do that'll harm yourself. And I do think that there's a whole lot of range that can be covered without certain actions and poses. I've noticed that there have been that they've been pretty careful overall with Hyein's image, and her outfits in general have been pretty safe. So from early on and with Cookie, I think there was a whole lot of, after that general backlash, good job everyone for that. I don't know what the images would have looked like had they been allowed to circulate the way they wanted to, because I felt like this was a test for everybody. Like, I feel like this was a test, and I think we passed. Because had anyone reacted without batting an eyelash and be like, oh my gosh, yeah, slay queen, guess what? There would have been more of them. And there would have been more creeps, and there would have been more of them, and there would have been more creeps. It kind of is it's like the merry-go-round. It goes round in creepy, naked, creepy. You supply, demand, yeah. So I personally do think there are, to the tasteful limit. If you really are the kind of creep that is like, oh my gosh, a tiny amount of belly button and a shoulder, then yeah, there is no helping you. But y'all, we can use eyes. There are certain poses, there are certain moves, there are certain things that are crossing a line and opening up to the kind of fans we don't want. That's all I'm going to say. Which is actually a lot. This is kind of my first video like this, so I know it's all over the place. I hope to make more. I didn't mean for my first one to be controversial, but I guess I realize all my thoughts are controversial. Oh my gosh, I just realized thoughts are controversial. All thoughts are anyways. If you liked it, there'll be a lot more. I don't want you to subscribe. I really want you to stay away from my channel. Goodbye.